summer and the vintage RV show season heat up, we thought it would be a great time to flash back to a show we did with Justin Scribner from Flyte Camp Vintage Trailers, as he explained to Jeff Johnston just what their well-known trailer restoration shop has been up to. Then, we joined Mark and Dawn Polk from RV Education 101 and bring you some information about RV tires you may not have been aware of. Later, we join Jeff Johnston as he heads to Nevada City, California, and visits the in-town campground. While camping, Jeff whips up his famous bean, sausage, and potato dish, along with some campfire beer batter bread. These stories and more on this week's RVing Today TV. Closed and Spanish captioning where available is sponsored by Trail Manor, one of the world's lightest and easiest towing travel trailers.
Some years ago, we paid a visit to Flyte Camp, a company in Bend, Oregon that specializes in repair and restorations of vintage trailers. Well, we caught up with Justin Scribner, half of the Flyte Camp crew, at the Rally on the River in Brownsville, Oregon. And Justin brought us up to speed a little bit on what the company's been up to in the intervening years. Well, it's a darn shame that the good-looking half of this couple can't be here. Anna is elsewhere today. However, Justin, good to see you again.
Nice to see you too. Thank you for having me.
And tell me, what's been going on with Flyte Camp? It's been a few years since we've been out to visit you guys, and we see your name everywhere, and we see your show. So what's happening with you guys these days?
Busy, you know. We went from visiting with you and being in a very small shop and doing some spec trailers and a few customer renovations to kind of being a big name in vintage travel trailer restoration. And you know, it wasn't something that I pushed for and intended, but it organically happened, which was great. You know, it's really nice to take something that you love and enjoy and have a passion for and turn it into your daily living, which is awesome. So Flyte Camp has definitely expanded. We've moved shops at this point, and we've grown, and we've got some great craftsmen working down there, just incredible workers. One other thing that I wanted to mention too is about 2 years ago, we came up with an idea to create an authentic vintage styled brand new travel trailer. We had seen a lot of repops out there, and you know, the craftsmanship we wanted to make sure was 100% in there, and they were built just like they were in the 40s and 50s. So I decided to design my own trailer called the Neutron. So along with all of our restoration stuff that we do and our museum pieces and the rarities, we also do a brand new manufactured line called the Neutron. And the Neutron is a trailer that we make right there at the shop. So we have 3 to 5 restorations going, and then typically we always have about 3 Neutrons on the line kind of coming off, which is great.
But the content is everything.
Yeah.
And you guys obviously have some content that is it ranges from really cool to mind-blowing.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Speaking of the mind-blowing aspect, we can see this guy behind us. Can you tell me just very briefly which one this is?
Yeah, this is the Holiday House Geographic Model X, and this was made by the Harry and David Company. Actually, it was made by Holiday House, but it was the Harry and David Fruit basket company. This was a concept that David Holmes came up with, and we've got 1 of 2 in fruition right here in front of us, and it's a pretty rare piece. So this trailer involved a lot more than we ever expected. We kind of thought that being a fiberglass shell, that it would be a little bit more preserved than wood frame trailers, which we work with a lot of wood inside trailers. But when we took the windows out on this one, the roof actually collapsed down on itself, which was pretty bad. Kind of scared everybody in the shop a little bit. But in doing so, we decided to go ahead and structurally make it more sound, better than they did originally, and we doubled up on the strength on the sidewalls and also the thickness of the roof structure itself. At that point, we had an empty shell, and so we decided on a floor plan, went to town on it. So when we found the trailer, we didn't have anything to work off of on the inside. So I was referring back to black and white photos and stock photos of the one that went to Europe. And in that, we also were able to speak with the original designer, Chuck Pelley. He was hired by David Holmes to come in, and they set him up down in California to strictly develop this trailer, and he was invaluable in the process of redoing this. So we were able to get his idea on what he really wanted it originally to look like. The other one that went to Europe, they were combining their original box design with this concept. And so some of the cabinetry didn't fit 100% like it should have, like his idea was. And so we got his idea on it and tried to kind of build the trailer that he originally wanted. The interior of this trailer is all black walnut. The other one, they built all in teak. Now monetarily, right now, teak is a little prohibitive. And so we went ahead and did black walnut throughout it. And we did stainless steel countertops. We kept the original footprint of the trailer, but we built the upper cabinets and some of the layout a little bit more usable than what it was originally in the two that were finished. So we kind of just improved a little bit on the design, and especially with the original designer helping us through the process, you know, I think it came out pretty spectacular. You know, that's kind of the fun in it. I always tell everybody, you know, every single one of them is individually different. If you go through this rally, there's so many different brands, and there's so many different takes on it, you know, that people personalize them. They were made in a different year, a different era, a different feel, and that's what's fun about a vintage trailer. It's just like a vintage car. They have a life to it, and if you can preserve that life and that history and give that to people to enjoy, then they're stepping into a feeling or a time. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, well, the work you guys do, you're certainly setting the bar about as high as it can go.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's not unusual, not surprising, I guess. Well, the 24-month part is, but it's not surprising to have the lead time, because I know your reputation is preceding you.
Well, thank you very much.
So,
thank you. Yeah.
Anyway, well, Justin,
hey,
thank you for your
so
time.
Much.
Appreciate
I really
it.
appreciate it.
Glad to hear things are going well.
Yeah.
How many RV roof coating systems do away with having to constantly inspect and recaulk your roof? Okay. How many RV roof coating systems come with a lifetime transferable warranty? The answer is 1, Flex Armor. Visit RVroof.com to learn more about this virtually indestructible maintenance-free roof system and to find an authorized Flex Armor facility closest to you.
Travel John Holding Tank deodorizer cleaners have been keeping campers happy since 1967, making it the oldest, most reliable solution for RV and marine holding tanks. Travel John packaging is attractive and easy to store for any size rig or scope of adventure. With nearly 100 years of experience, Century Chemical Corp is proud to offer outdoor enthusiasts across the world products that work anywhere, anytime. To learn more, call the number on your screen or visit centurychemical.com.
Today we're going to discuss one of the most important and possibly the most neglected components on your RV tires. The tires and the air that's in the tires are what supports the entire load when you're traveling. That's why it's important you inspect the tires and check the tire pressure before you leave on a trip. Here's how you do it. Before we dig into all the tire inspection details, I want to offer some useful tips about RV tires and tire pressure. Tip number 1. Tires lose air pressure when they sit in storage. Tires can lose up to 2 pounds of air pressure per month. If you don't check your tires for 3 or 4 months, they could be seriously underinflated. Tip number 2. You only check tire pressure when the tires are cold before traveling more than 1 mile. Hot air expands and gives you a false reading. If the tires are already hot from traveling, wait several hours before checking and adjusting the inflation pressure. Tip number 3. Tires are designed and built to be used. The rubber used in tires ages faster when they are not used, so more use results in longer tire life. When tires are manufactured, compounds are added to help protect the rubber from weather, cracking, and sun damage, but the tire needs to be rolling down the road, heating up and flexing for these compounds to work their way to the surface of the tire and protect the rubber from damage. Okay, let's start by talking about tire inflation pressure. This is a confusing topic, so my goal is to keep it as simple as possible. Let's talk tire pressure. What air pressure do I run in trailer tires? The first thing you need to understand is all tires have load ratings, but the load rating for a tire is only accurate if the tire is properly inflated. It's easier if you have a travel trailer because Goodyear says unless you are trying to resolve poor ride quality problems with an RV trailer, it is recommended that the trailer tires be inflated to the pressure indicated on the sidewall of the tire. Trailer tires experience significant lateral side-to-side loads due to vehicle sway from uneven roads, turning, or passing vehicles. Using the inflation pressure engraved on the sidewall will provide optimum load carrying capacity and minimize heat buildup. With that said, you can look right here to locate the inflation pressure on the tire sidewall and simply inflate all the trailer tires to that pressure. Tire manufacturers also have what is referred to as load and inflation tables for the tires they manufacture. A more technical method for determining proper inflation pressure is to have the RV weighed, preferably by individual wheel position, and use a load and inflation table to determine the correct inflation pressure for the load. For example, let's say the front axle weighs 4,000 pounds. If you divide that by 2, each tire would need to be capable of supporting 2,000 pounds. Go to the tire manufacturer load and inflation tables, which for these tires is the Maxxis ST tire load and inflation table. In this example, if I inflate the tires to 45 psi, they can support 2,020 pounds each. So there you have it, a couple different ways to inflate the tires and handle the load that's on the tires. Remember, always check the inflation pressure when the tires are cold for accurate readings. Something else that's extremely important is to use a quality tire pressure gauge for accurate air pressure readings. You can invest in a $15 to $20 gauge like this one that works well, or you can purchase a portable air compressor with a quality inflation gauge. Now let's talk about inspecting your tires. Visual inspection of tires. I mentioned earlier, when tires are manufactured, compounds are added to help protect the rubber from weather cracking and sun damage, but the tire needs to be rolling down the road, heating up and flexing for these compounds to work their way to the surface of the tire and protect the rubber from damage. When tires sit in storage, they start to dry out, causing the tire to age faster. Weather checking or cracking happens when tires are exposed to heat, sunlight, and non-use. This is especially true of the tire sidewall. Inspect your tires for any weather checking or cracks in the sidewalls before each trip. If you notice damage to the tires and you are not sure what to do, have the tires inspected by a tire professional. The next thing you want to do is inspect the tires for signs of uneven wear patterns. On an automobile, wear patterns on both front tires can be an early indication of alignment problems. If only one tire shows signs of wear faster than the other, it might be a signal of something other than normal tire wear. Have these conditions inspected by a tire professional. Do not operate the RV with tires that show any signs of damage. Check the tread depth. Tires have what is referred to as tread wear indicators molded into the tread of the tire. When the tread gets down to the tread wear indicator bar right here, it's time to start shopping for new tires. To check tread depth, you can use a penny or a tire tread depth gauge. Place a penny into the groove of the tire with Lincoln's head upside down. If you can see the top of Lincoln's head, the tread depth is below an acceptable margin and the tire should be replaced. Inspect the tires for other damage like foreign objects, cuts, or bulging. Have any damaged areas inspected immediately. Well, that's a good start to your RV tire education. Remember, the only thing between the trailer's weight and the road is the tires and the air that's in the tires, so tires are at the top of your list of things to check prior to an RV trip. For more information on using and maintaining your RV, visit RVOnlineTraining.com. Thanks for watching and happy camping.
Dreaming about owning a hard-side travel trailer but don't have a place to store it? Well, how about in your garage? That's right. Trailmanor travel trailers are engineered with a cantilever system that allows you to open it up or fold it down in just about 5 minutes. And when it comes to interior comfort and amenities, Trailmanor has it all. To check out their full line of travel trailers and find the nearest dealer, visit trailmanor.com. Want more RVing today? Then visit RVingtoday.tv. Besides our weekly show and extended segments, you'll find additional stories and videos along with insightful information on what's new and what's happening around the world in RVing. From luxury RVs to unique camper vans, and from RVing with pets to RVing with kids. You'll find it all and more in RVingtoday.tv.
Today's RVing Today Quick Stop is ideally located for RVers visiting historic Nevada City, California. Lots of trees and high mountain clean air are great ingredients for a campground, and the in-town campground is rich with the features that appeal to RVers. We spoke with Erin Thiem, co-owner of the in-town campground, to learn more about the facility.
Welcome to the in-town campground. We're in downtown Nevada City, Northern California, and we have 70 different campsites here on site, 15 acres in the forested foothills. We offer tenting, glamping, and RV hookups. We've got something for everyone. We've got tent sites that are private. We've got sites that are great for couples, families, vans, teardrops, rooftop tents, and we've got glamping tents that are all set up and ready for you. Don't have to pack a thing, just bring your toothbrush. And then we have RV sites, both full hookups and water and electric sites available for campers who want to come bring their rigs to Nevada City. The in-town campground super family friendly. We do outdoor movies for the kids on the weekends. We have a swimming pool, we have a camp store, a communal kitchen. The kitchen is great for either tenters, RVers, or glampers because it gives you that space outside of your campsite to use the oven, use the refrigerator, have a nice meal, clean up, and it's not in your space. A lot of our campers really enjoy that. And yeah, we've been getting a lot of people on their shakedown maiden voyage. So if you have a new rig and you want to test it out and you don't want to go very far, we tend to be a great destination for those campers as well.
Access roads are well planned for easy RV maneuvering into and out of the sites. Naturally, the campground store includes RVing necessities as well as snacks and souvenirs. Like many campgrounds, it's not a cheap place to stay. Our spot for our truck and Palomino camper was in the $75 neighborhood, which is becoming more common these days. Railroad history fans will enjoy the Nevada County Narrow Gauge Railroad Museum next door to the campground. For more information about the in-town campground, log on to our website at rvingtoday.tv.
Travel John Holding Tank deodorizer cleaners have been keeping campers happy since 1967, making it the oldest, most reliable solution for RV and marine holding tanks. Travel John packaging is attractive and easy to store for any size rig or scope of adventure. With nearly 100 years of experience, Century Chemical Corp is proud to offer outdoor enthusiasts across the world products that work anywhere, anytime. To learn more, call the number on your screen or visit centurychemical.com.
So it's a beautiful weekend out here in camp, and it's time to get some dinner going. So we have the Dutch oven set up. We got the coals that are, they're ready to go. And our ingredients are all lined up, so we'll get started here and show you how we make up our Dutch oven beans, potatoes, and sausage. We get things going with a homemade fire starter under the briquette chimney. This handy device kicks off the briquettes without using petroleum-type fire starter chemicals. Next, we cut up 3 small potatoes into bite-sized chunks. For serving convenience, we cut 2 packages of chicken bratwurst sausages into 4 chunks each. So we'll put a little bit of olive oil in the pan here to heat up. Doesn't take much because the sausage is going to have its own goop in there, of course. Dump in our sausage. This is some very nice chicken with a couple of different spices, but we like chicken sausage because it's a little bit less fat. You don't absolutely have to brown the sausage first depending on the type, but this is uncooked sausage, so we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of brown on this before we throw the beans and the potatoes in and everything else. Smells pretty good already. Beer bread is our complement to the sausage and beans. A temporary foil liner makes a good spot for blending the bread mix. We use a local brew to help flavor the bread. It's a bit of a mess, but it works. Rub a little butter on your hands to help keep the dough from sticking. The Lodge Dutch ovens come pre-seasoned, but we rubbed in some butter to help keep the bread from sticking. Unceremoniously plop the dough into the pan, leave it in a lump, cover, and it's good to go. All right, things are starting to look a little bit brown, and man, is it smelling good. Time to pull the lid off, and it looks like the sausage is browned up nicely. So we're going to move this off to the side and add the potatoes that we cut up earlier. And we'll get those a little bit pre-cooked before the beans go in. All right, we'll start with the chili beans and the black beans and a little bit of garbanzos for a light little bit of color. Same with the kind of white bean. A little bit of corn for color. A little more garbanzos. A little bit of this Ninkasi Special Beer Run IPA, just to add a little bit of moisture to the whole thing. Worked in the beer bread, ought to do just fine here too. And then of course we stir that stuff up, get the potatoes and everything going, cover it up, and we'll see what happens in a little while. Meanwhile, it's time to take a look at the beer bread. It is puffing up nicely. Started up a few more coals here. As the coals started burning down, we began the first coals a little early, so we started a few more, added them on here, and it looks like everything is perking along just fine. Well, the beer bread is coming along nicely, but it's starting to get, it's a little brown on the bottom, but it's okay. So what we did was we moved all of the coals from the bottom up here on the top to put the heat mainly down off the top of the bread. We're getting close. Things ought to be just about ready here. Water is boiling. Smell is really good. Everything looks like it's blending together nicely. All right, first of all, the beer bread is about done. Chewy crust and a robust interior texture make this bread a terrific side dish to stews and the like. All right, this is about done. It's been boiling for, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. Get a few chunks of the sausage in there. Feel how hot that is on the bottom on my hand. Looks pretty darn good. We have the bean mix with corn and whatnot, and the sausage, chicken sausage, so it's a little bit healthy. And beer bread, a one-pot wonder. All things considered, not an all bad way to start a meal for an evening of camping. Can definitely recommend Dutch ovens as an addition to your camping supplies. Cheers.
If you're into RVing or just appreciate vintage vehicles, be sure to set your GPS for the RVMH Hall of Fame in Elkhart, Indiana. This museum houses the largest collection of vintage RVs and trailers dating as far back as 1916. For more information, visit their website at rvmhhalloffame.org. For more information on anything you saw in this week's episode, along with additional videos, interesting stories, and RV news, visit our website at rvingtoday.tv. This has been another fun production.